Peace, Morris. We're gonna get this teacher started real fast. Just give me 1 second. We're gonna finish this Adapt Wisdom and the Zodiac laws. Then we're gonna be done. I promised one of my nobles and one of my empresses that I'll finish this teaching. I know I'm tired today, man. We had a lot of training. And I taught some history to some of my youth today at our 7th hour, which we have here at my school at one of our off-site campuses. But we're just going to finish this Adapt Wisdom, and we're going to finish this Zodiac law. And I just challenge everybody to study and be a student of everything and not to get caught up in religious dogma, no matter who it is, because that's not more science. But in history, if you can research Moors, we have to understand what the passing and the enforcing of the anti-lynch bill was, the Civil Rights Bill, and the FECP bill. We got to understand those historical things. That was the violation of the Christian Obligation Code of the Union States of 1863. These are things that can be researched. We're supposed to study all law and history and operate on this earth plane as a master Moorish Mason. That's why when I tell Moors, I haven't took no oath. Things are sacred, but it's not a secret. I'm 33 times 3, ancient primitive right of Memphis and Israel. If Moors saying they're not Moorish Masons and Adapts, then they just on the Lord wisdom and their own material wisdom. But you got to understand what filibustering is. And when we talk about filibustering of these bills by lawmakers of the 48 states, that's what takes us Moors and us Adapts to understand the research and to dig deeper into what the clock of destiny is all about and what the Zodiac laws is all about, man. And what the Son of Man is all about, Moors. That's why tomorrow never comes, and neither does the future ever comes, Moors. It is always yesterday and today, family, and the past and the present. And that is a fact, Moors. That's why we must understand when I talk about this Adept wisdom. Not understanding these laws and these sciences like you finna get something free. But we talk about the law of attraction. The 12 signs of the Zodiac, the moon, the sun, and the 7 planets comprise the only unchanged book of nature, which reveals the history of human development in all past ages, family. And it so give us the master key solution to our present economic and social problem, nationality and internationally. Nationally and internationally, Moors. Falling down to a religious dogma, what has it done for you? The names. Understand when we speak from wisdom, Moors. Don't get caught up in the Adapt, study all law. But the names, Jesus and Jesut, Jesute, were derived from Justinus, Justinus, meaning justice. For my scholars and for my researchers, this is not program learning. Religion is program learning. I want you to be a free thinker, a theosophist, a philosopher. Truth has no size, Moors. We're not here on religious dogma. That's not what I teach. I understand all religious rights and the essence of the Triple Rose Adapt Chamber, but I don't promulgate no religion facet like that's going to save you. That's not what I promulgate, because Moorish science is not promulgating no religion outside of yourself. That's why if you understand science and you're a researcher, you'll understand that the mystery of Babylon, or the Tower of Babel, represents the 48 states of North America, Moors, divided against itself. Each of the 48 states has its capital and code of traditions, different from each other. When they talk about the Tower of Babel, per se, when they talk about they didn't know what they were saying, you got to understand the analogy. You got to understand the other part of the story, Moors. Just like you have to understand the other part of the story of 666. in both explanations. But the nations speaking the same language, English, but cannot agree or understand one another or the necessary problems. That is to say, the solution to necessary problems for the economic and social benefit for the common masses collectively, owing to traditional and state right code. But you see so many more doing things on tradition. Just because it's tradition don't make it right. Moors, just use your hippocampus of your brain for a minute. Do our sisters, our mothers, even our brothers and sisters that cook, do we cut the turkey in half anymore still and put it in the oven? No, that was tradition. Why? Because they didn't have ovens and pans big enough. So are we going to do something traditional? No. We must know. We don't do things based on tradition. Each of 48 states has the right to protect its code from traditions, Moors. This results in confusion of tongues. That's that biblical allegory. As the result of debates and filibustering over that which is right and that which is wrong according to the state's rights and traditional standards. When I see Negro, black, and colored Hebrew Israelites that you are a Moor, when you just arguing over religion. Moors, all of which spell mystery Babylon, the Tower of Babel, confusion. That's why when I speak in wisdom, I say a house divided against itself cannot stand. Moors, Hebrews, all that, when you put religion in the midst of who you are, that's a house divided, and it cannot stand. That's why when I talk about from this wisdom, this adapt wisdom, and the Zodiac laws, when I talk about the 12 is the universal standard of measurement and human moral principle, standard of law, of living, Moors, minus customs and traditions. Customs and traditions are debatable. We all can agree to that, Moors. But the universal 12 standard law principles of living are absolute, meaning perfect, and therefore are not debatable. And if Moors say they adapts, they should know what I'm talking about. That's why when we talk about this light, this adapt wisdom, and this Illuminati, and this illumination, we put light on falseness. Peace, Mo. We put light on falseness. That's why when I say, are you illuminated? But we letting Europeans and we letting brothers that's taking an oath to tell you false doctrine of what something is. And I'm telling you, it's no spookism. These are all comedic science, Moors. Moorish science is comedic science. I'm telling you. Rosicrucian scriptures, all this is science. Science is symbols of the primordial man. What more don't study? Only more that read certain books is program religion. Just like your pastor tell you, only read the Bible. And that's not science. Light means knowledge, and knowledge is power. And knowledge spells freedom. Freedom is everyone's job on a universal scale. If we say this is a universal hairdresser of the Moors, you Negroes getting caught up in some color. And I keep telling you, that's not what the prophet promulgated. He didn't promulgate no color, because if you understand what the Celtics and the Phoenicians, you understand that. And if you understand what the Moorish Orthodox Church is, you understand all that. But you Negroes think y'all can honor or y'all can tell somebody's nationality by the color of their skin. And that's idiot. And that's asinine. That's asinine. The reason why Negroes go around saying what the prophet taught and what he didn't taught, because they don't know. And because they weren't adepts. We talk about material wisdom. That's all, and that's religion. Like for instance, Moors, if somebody was hustling you, say a card shark or something, they were cheating you in a game of cards. The question you got to ask yourself, would it be unintelligent to resort to force against him? Think about it. Your most intelligent act is to seek one who teaches the art of card cheating. Follow me. Have that person teach you all the angles of the card cheating. Therefore, what happened next, Moors? Here you are well equipped with the necessary knowledge by which it will enable you to protect your money while engaged in a game of cards with card sharks. I hope you follow me, Moors. What I'm saying is the only way to get out the fire is to go in the fire. And as soon as they discover that you are as wise to all of their tricks, the card sharks will automatically respect you as their equal thereafter. I promise you. And as the result, the old game of cards between you and them will be played on the square minus violence and hatred or fear. Ignorance creates violence. That's why when you see a Negro, black, and colored, I don't care what a fez on, and when I speak of things they don't know, the first thing they do is get mad. That's religious dogma. Instead of studying and seeking it out, saying that they don't know, saying that they know they're not an adept. They just got sheiks because they gave themselves the title sheiks. But we must humble ourselves and say, no, I don't know. That's what we teach the wisdom. Brute force and destruction. But we got to understand Moors. Wisdom, correct knowledge, and understanding creates what? Unity, peace of mind, freedom, progress, and the pursuit of happiness, Moors. That's why when we talk about this adapt wisdom and freedom, it's everybody's job. Come on, Moors. Move the veil of religious dogma. Move the veil of isms. Don't y'all know the science? I don't care what religion you claim. I don't care what ism you under. If you don't understand about sustainability and about what that cross is, that fire, earth, air, river, if that's gone, your religion doesn't matter. You got to understand and respect sustainability. So, when we talk about the symbols of the 12 signs of the Zodiac, which represent universal law and constitutes upon the civilization is found, what are the symbols that represent universal law, Morris? Y'all, we should know this. The crescent and the star, the pyramid with the eye on top, the compass and square with the G in the middle, the so-called 6-point star, the so-called, no problem, more. This is scholarship. This ain't, we not arguing. That's what we do. The so-called 6-point star with the N up top, the S at the bottom, the G and the 7 in the middle. And then you have the circle. Then you have the circle. Then you have the circle with the lines down the middle, which is sustainability with 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. The same way with the square. 90, 90, 90, 90. I'll show you how to circle the square, Moors. That's the ICAM. The star and the crescent is the flag of Islam, which is freedom. You see what I'm saying? Which is freedom, Moors. Union, equality, justice, peace, and culture. The pyramid is the great seal, the emblem of the Moorish Union. I hope y'all know this science, man. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, that's sad. That's religious dogma, and I'm not here to promulgate no religious dogma or no isms. If y'all understand more science, God and man is one. Sufi, God and man is one. When I talk this wisdom to the imams and to brothers that's Prince Hall, I have families that's went under the Greek thing and under the Prince Hall. And when I break this wisdom, they're all sons of Muslims. I come with adept wisdom. I don't come from no hate. I'm telling you, other people have been using the science and winning. Those Greek fraternities, those European Moors that wear the fez in clandestine, no brothers talking to them. But see, when I speak with them, they know supreme wisdom. Prince Hall is only a mystic name. Follow me, Moors. Follow me and don't get your feelings in it. Research it. Ask people, because I have family that's Prince Hall. I ain't go through no European dogma. I'm telling you, man. I went through the Adept chambers and I have worldly degrees as well. So I don't have no father. But Prince Hall is only a mystic name. Also King Solomon. Also Hiram Abib. Also Queen of Sheba and David are only mystic names. I'm giving you adept wisdom, man. We got to talk about all of it. The scientific universal symbol of the works of nature are definitely not idol God worships. Why you think in Islam, I don't care what you is, they don't have no picture of no Muhammad? Only the statues of dead women and men referred to as saints and prophets are idol God worshippers. And that's a dead culture, Moors. You don't got to listen to me. All you have to do is research. If you say you're an adept and you say you some grand sheik, but I'm telling you, I'm a scientist, I'm an adept, I'm a teacher, I'm a philosopher, a theosophist. And in the year of 1215, Moorish calendar year, which is equivalent to 1795, when we talk about the day of the cross, the CROIX, or the Christian calendar year, Moors, in the reign of what? Angela, Belgium, Amsterdam, known today as New York City, the Empire State. I hope y'all know this wisdom where I'm coming from. When we talk about astrologers and mathematicians, by the Ben Bay, laid laid the foundation of the universal apprentice hall of the science of government, human character, unity, human equality, justice, and peace. That's where we say the phrase salam. Upon the 12 signs of the Zodiac and on the 4 squares of 90 degrees, Moors. Standing with your feet open don't mean nothing. If the vessel ain't right, that mess don't mean jack. You get laughed at. This starts with the mind first, with the hippocampus. And then it comes out. Just like whatever you eat or drink comes out. Same thing. That's why they term in the hub of the universal or the perpetual universal freedom wars. That's why this foundation is referred to as the White House in D.C. and Ben Bain referred to in the Crusade USA history books as Benjamin Banneker. Man, oh, this is science. That's why my elementary, when I say this is elementary, this is what we're supposed to be teaching our kids, the elements. This ain't nothing new. My 6th graders get this wisdom. That's why I tell you, you are what you know, not what you believe. I don't care what you believe, because you can believe a lie. I don't give a damn about what your belief is. One never knows by being told or preached to. One never been told nothing by being told or preached to. One will have to acquire applied knowledge by the way of study, application, and prove that which they know by practical scientific demonstration, minus the mystery, minus the mystic phrases, signs, and mythology, and the mystic passwordism, and the secret clanism. That's why we, the people of the North America, have the Universal Constitution, which definitely equally represents each individual of the entire family, Moors. Billions. We got to understand this degree, the science of astrology, Moors. The 12 signs of the Zodiac, the complete circle of the 360 degrees, which represent the whole creation. If you don't know that, why, Moors? If Moors don't know that, you got to tell me why you got this fez on. If you can't break down what this fez have on, why are you wearing it? Why are you telling empresses that the fez, they can't wear the fez? Why are you not telling empresses they about the Eastern Star? I told you, the Europeans, the daughter of American Revolution, you are the Eastern Star empresses. But they ain't going to tell you that, but I am. Because I'm not under no oath. And I don't have a hate bone in my body. Color, I don't care about your color. I'm telling you. That's why I keep telling people, you get things twisted because you don't know the real cause of the Civil War. If you study research how much this stuff costs. It ain't about no color. But you're getting caught up in some color. You don't know what the Klan and the clocks mean. Research science instead of what somebody's telling you. Research the stuff that costs money. And we just going on speculation. This is what I do. I'm a real doctor and philosopher. Exactly, Moors. This is where the real information be. They hide it from Moors. And I say, it's there. Moors, when I go to the Philosophical Society every month, I don't have nothing to hide. I'm part of the Philosophical Society. The Europeans and Prince Hall masonries, Negro, black, and color, they praise the Prince Hall. But I show that Prince Hall, that's no science. I show that Manly P. Hall, all that's material wisdom. I show that Anna Blavatsky, all that's more science. I come in love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. That's why I'm accepted in all houses. When I come from supreme wisdom. When I come from supreme wisdom. When I go to the Philosophical Society, when I tell more, it's a big Buddha inside of there. Most Negroes, most Masons don't know about it. But I do, because I operate on love and truth and peace. Period. Point blank. But most Moors don't know. They get caught up in their feelings when I talk about white cargo. When I say research what white cargo is, research about what the Arab slave trade is, become so-called transatlantic slave trade. Research the slave ports in Judah, which is Benin. You can research in all these in the libraries. Science, man. You don't gotta listen to me. When I tell you Judah would have 4 different names, Kwahuda, Yuda, Kwador, all these different names during those times. Scholarship, all in the libraries. Period. And we operate on religious dogma. That's the same thing the churches did. They're not teaching our kids history, international law, civics, agriculture, Finance, I do. Business, I teach that. That's why North America referred to as the North Gate or the hub of the universe, Moors. Don't y'all know 180 degrees east longitude and therefore definitely cannot be destroyed by foreign powers? Neither can us. That's why freedom is everybody's business, Moors. Come on, but see, Moors, they don't understand because they ain't studying. They don't study. I break the wisdom down when Moors act like they don't know who Noble Drew Ali father is and mother. Just like when you get my family, and I have Nation of Islam family, and they say they don't act like they don't know who Father Muhammad is. No disrespect to nobody, like he came out of heaven and started teaching black folks who they are per se. And I said, Noble Drew Ali been teaching this science. I show you in all books, man. Noble Drew Ali was hidden through history. The Sacred Drift by Peter Lambert Wilson. The Synchronicity of the Sacred Seal by Peter Lambert Wilson. And the Spandu by Peter Lambert by Peter Moon. Man, the prophet been talked about over, man. I keep telling Moors, what you think the Celtic history is? What you think those Phoenicians is? Those light-skinned gypsies, Egyptians came in and got their nationality. But y'all don't know science. You get caught up in color. And it ain't about that. But who am I? The majority of the people of the U.S. have an education superior to any other majority of masters of humanity in foreign lands. And we have mastered every category of science. Now, Moors, what we must do, us master masons, our Moors Masons, we have to master the science of astrology, the science of 12 signs of the Zodiac, which is the father of science, Moors, owing to the education of the majority of the masses of the USA on a national scale, Moors. That's why to complete the necessary course of astrology in 6 months, it has also been stated that the 12 signs of the Zodiac is universal and that North America is the North Gate and the hub of the universe of the Zodiac, which is the 180 degrees, Moors. So when I tell more try to say, well, you a prophet, I said, I'm not a prophet, I'm none of that, I'm nobody leader. I'm a son only of a widow, the great leader, namely the mother. Period. That's when I say one who possesses knowledge of astrology, the Zodiac. Only us. That's when we don't have to rely on a belief to be saved. Some Negro, black, and color with some fans telling them what you most believe in. Astrology prepares one to be saved by way of knowledge minus a belief. The nos, the atheist, the infidel are all Latin terms meaning what, Morris? Knowledge, or to know and prove that which you know in a practical scientific manner minus relying upon a belief, an opinion, Morris. Follow me, Morris. We talk about scholarship. Talk about your religion. We talk about no isms. A belief and an opinion are not absolute sound for one to rely upon the perfection and economic and social progress, Moors. Follow me, family. But the 12 signs of the Zodiac comprise the circle of 360 degrees of absolute universal perfection on the science of geometry, Moors. That's why when I hear Negro, black, and colors talk about they don't like math, they don't like biology and science, well, they don't like Moorish science. Period. That's a Negro. Geometry have never told a lie. That's why I said if you can get rid of anything but don't get rid of math and numbers, don't get rid of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, don't get rid of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0. 90 is not Morse. 90 is not a mystery and neither a theory, family. It's neither a theory. 12 is not a mystery and neither opinion, belief, or theory. Morse. These two figures speak one universal language in terms of facts. When I say the truth has no size. So numbers 9 to 90 and 12 are definitely not debatable, Moors. That's why you don't see no Moors debating science. They debating religious rhetoric and what some prophet taught, and they don't even know. That's why when I tell Moors, if there are two schools of ideas in the USA, and they are theology and masonry, I will repeat, emphatically with her silver tongue. There are two schools of ideas in the USA, namely theology and masonry. In order for the masses of the USA to maintain and increase our liberty, or freedom, one of these schools or ideas must resort to the teachings of the science of the 12 signs of the Zodiac. I'm telling you more. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Freedom is everybody's job. That's why people are using this science and winning. Zodiac is an unchanged map of the universe, Moors, which comprise 360 degrees, which is this fez, which is this fez, which is this dango umbilical cord, which is this navel cord, which is the tassel. That's why it spins freely. Don't y'all know that? That's why the sun's in the middle of all the zodiacs. Man, that's why this tassel, it flows freely. Man. The zodiac is equally divided into 4 angles or squares of 90 degrees, which represent east, west, north, and south. Fire, water, air, earth, spring, summer, fall, and winter. 3 times 4 equals what, Moors? 12. The zodiac is also equally divided into 12 zones of 30 degrees each. That's why when I talk about the constellation, when I say every constellation have 3 deacons, I'm talking about the inner workings of your brain. That's why when I speak, what's above has to match below. Everything in the constellations matches your brain. I can show you hidden symbols in Michelangelo's picture, whatever, when that plane of the God and brain, all that, that's your brain. I can show you, it's the hippocampus. When you talk about some Baphomet, is when I tell you, man, that's written Kabbalistically backwards. Tip off, have Abbas. I teach the science. The Baphomet, that's connotated wisdom. Eliseus Levi stole that. That's commit wisdom. You see the chakras all in the chest. Man, I demonstrate this so many times. But when it's divided like that, it represents the 12 months, term to a year, and the 12 signs from which reveal human character, which is talent, action, reaction, the great law of cause and effect, universally. There we go. Again, I talk about those Kemetic principles, connotated as Hermetic and Kabbalah. What is astrology, Moors? Astrology means astrologic, or logic of the works of nature, as shown in the 12 signs of the Zodiac family, having to do with solution to problems and human characteristics. Revelation, Moors. The term revelations means to reveal or to take, or to make known to that which has been suppressed. We talk about illuminate, shedding light on a particular subject. When these Negro black colors, Moors with these fez and turbans on, come with this spookism. Or shielded by selfish people of organized dogma, nature. Well, Moors, in the book of John, Revelation, the zodiac is referred to as the 12 foundations, Moors, the 12 gates, the 7 seals, the 4 squares, and the measurement of man. Moors, let me show you something. Let me see if I got something up here. I don't even know if I got it up here. When we talk about things, when we talk about the zodiac and the thoughts of salvation, this is all more science. When we talk about the 7 seal, a practical occult experience, man, all science, all Kemetic laws, the Kemetic principles, all that, but Moore's not studying. So let's finish. Let's finish. But that's what Revelations is. The zodiac is referred to as the 12 foundations, the 12 gates, the 7 seals of the 4 squares, and the measurement of man. The term Minevah, M-I-N-E-V-A-H, means the no nine, the no nine, the N-O, N-I-N-E. Thus, the zodiac of 360 degrees, Moors, is squared by the number 9. Thus, this revelation means that very end of the doctrine of mystery, mythology, and organized theological dictatorship, and the rise of humanity with civilization, Moors. namely the science of astrology, the 12 signs of the Zodiac. The entire earth will become great. I'm telling you. That's why if Moors don't understand about the evil acts of the Moors and the Amazon Franciscans, we talk about history. The Amazon Franciscans. AMAZON This history of South America, contrary to the Zodiac. They converted the entire world, the minds of humanity. That in terms a living hell during the past 400 years. More than I know y'all know what I'm talking about. These are this is the fathers of civilization and the offspring. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. You don't got to get mad at me. We talk about grafting. I gave you the wisdom. When Yaqub in the biblical scriptures, that just means Jacob. When they talk about this begat that, you don't got to, it's science. That's why the dark-skinned people, thick-lipped Moabite nation, are the fathers of civilization, North, Central, and South America. Man, I can go all through with science and wisdom. I don't get caught in religion. Let me show you something, man, from a historical perspective. Let me see, can I find this book? And I'm going to tell you what it was about. I was doing a dissertation, and the European on campus, the Albion, said, even though it was proven that the black man, the Asiatic man is the father of civilization, I'm going to still say they white. And all the professors laughed, and they suspended it. Let me see if I can, right here. Scholarship. The first Americans were Africans per se. And you got to understand what I say when it says Africans. They don't get caught up in that word. You got to understand the essence of what African mean. I'm telling you, it's all there. And when you get in the 1828 Webster Dictionary, it tells you what an American is. The copper-colored race is found here by the Europeans. You don't got to listen to me. I show and improve everything. Here you go, the 1828 Webster Dictionary. You ain't got to listen to me. I'll tell you what it says. An American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or the copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. You ain't got to listen to me. You just got to research. But you can know what this science is all about. When we get out this religious dogma. When I talk about how people lie to you. When we talk about roots. When Alex Haley wrote that Roots, he talked about Kunta Kinte was his, what did he say? His lineage or his forefathers, whatever. That's bull crap. All that stuff came from this book right here, The African, by Harold Colander, the European. He got sued. You research the wisdom, man. You don't got to listen to me. All that stuff, Alex Haley talk about roots, that's B to the S. Pseudo-academia, fake wisdom. Just like Kwanzaa was created by Ron Karenga, federal informant. Ain't got nothing to do with righteousness Moors, but we listen to anything what a Negro say instead of researching it. And that's what Carter G. Wilson was telling us. He was telling Moors in the Miseducation of the Negro. Where my boy Carter G. Wilson book is. I mean, it's all in here. The Miseducation of the Negro. That's what it's about. Oh, right here, I think. Right here. We letting goofballs teach us. And they teaching us wrong on purpose. That's why scholars like myself and other scholars, we have to teach on other platforms. This ain't no fake wisdom here. This all law, man. We prove who we are through through history. All across the board, Moors. Period. So, when you studying and you looking up Indian, when I tell you that is, because I can show you if you got the wisdom, 103 amazing facts about the black Indian of the Western Hemisphere. I'll prove to you that everything you was told was a lie. I'll prove to you who the Washita Moors was and who Empress Verdice was of the Washita Moors and how land was given back in the 90s that was stolen. It wasn't no Louisiana Purchase. I'll show you how all this stuff was here. How all this stuff was here in the museums. The wisdom is here. This supreme wisdom, man. This ain't no religious dogma. Research this history. You're arguing over religious dogma. Exactly, Mo. Exactly. This is real science. We ain't got to argue over nothing. These Negro, black, and colors, just because they in the temple More, I had a temple in Arizona for 3 years. Temple number 9, District 7. Them Negroes don't know nothing. They ain't studied the Quran. They want no love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, nothing. They act like they some gang. I'm telling you. They act like they some Crips and Bloods. And I don't play that crap. I have my own building. I still have my own building. Period. I travel all across these states doing lectures. I'm telling you. So the term Franciscan means freeman or Frenchman or freedom and liberty. Franchise, which automatically made North, Central, and South America the first France and the people Frenchmen's, and spread abroad, Moors, or abroad. The terms German and Jew were derived from jurymen, J-U-R-I-M-I-N. Moors, I destroyed this on the college campuses. When I got the encyclopedias, I proved what a Jew was, nothing. I proved this. I proved this from scholarship, not from no religious dogma. I got their books, and I said, listen, the pen always reveal things. The pen always reveal things. There's no men to argue. They tell you exactly who they are. No reason to argue. You have to read between the lines when they play linguistics on you. But the terms German and Jew were derived from jurymen or juryman, based upon the 12 signs of the Zodiac, Moors. Each sign of the Zodiac is considered a jury, and the 12 signs are referred to as the 12 jurymen. The 12 signs of the Zodiac is squared by 9, Moors. 9 goes into 360 degrees how many times, Moors? 40. Thus, the number 9 represents the 9 judges of the Supreme Courts, federal government, Masonry, or Islam. I am the widowed son of 9, the first law. Come on, man. I know y'all Moors when I'm talking about. You say an adept. You say you're a grand sheik. When we talk about this civics, this is civics. The Star-Spangled Banner, the national anthem of the Union States of North America, of the Union States, 1863, was written by who? This is stuff that my kids, this elementary, Francis Scott Key, or Scott Free, during the decisive war between the Franciscans and the falling Moors in the year of 1814, which is equivalent to the year of 1234 Moors calendar year, Moors. For many years, the Union States of 1863 had no official national anthem. This is easy science. Finally, it was adapted as the national hymn. We talk about the Statue of Liberty on Bedfellows Island in the Bay of New York. It was designed by who? Bartholdi, B-A-R-T-H-O-L-D-I. D-I. Follow me. And presented by the franchise, or the free people of the Union States, in the year of 1881, in honor of the virtuous daughter of the American Revolution, who overthrew the Moorish Society of Islam. Here again, I'm talking about these DARs. Moors, when they telling you, when I see my empresses and they going under some, I have to say this, European Masonry, and you're part of some Eastern Star, European Masonry, and I tell my empress, you are the Eastern Star, you should get this in the temples you go to, but these Moors don't know this wisdom. You're already in the East. They praying to you. That white face, Moors, empresses. Empresses, let me tell you something, and let me say this emphatically. This white fez right here, that the daughter of the American Revolution wearing, it's all about you. This white fez, all these hoes, this umbilical cord, this navel cord, all this, all our empresses, all our Eastern Stars. Period. And if a Moor telling somebody something different, there's no scientism. They operating on religious dogma, man. They operating on isms. I ain't operating on no ism. I ain't operating on something that can't be proven. That ain't how I operate. That ain't how I operate, Moors. But the statue was complete in 1886 on Ellis Island. I have to say this. This was when all white foreigners are taught to uphold the Union States' right myth of white supremacy before they can qualify for citizenship in the USA. You don't got to listen to me. This is stuff that can be found, Moors. I'm just a philosopher. I'm just an adept. I'm a student. I'm a doctor. I don't practice malpractice. I'm under no oath. The Moorish nation, Latin surnames, the Bays, the L's, These surnames are the Moorish descents of America without legal due process. Your Moorish nationality and name, the Bay and the L, comprise our birthright, which will change you from being a USA Negro slave to a respectable citizen. Bay means Lord of the earth Moors, meaning subdue the earth and make it yield all of the necessities of the living hood. When I talk about when you wear this fez, you should be able to conjure up things. The law of attraction, if you say you're an adept. That's why the earth obeys. That's why the earth obeys. Islam means I am the great I am, namely you and me, woman and sons. Are you following me, family? My adepts and my sheiks and my Moorish master Masons. El means the center of wisdom or gravity, the law of attraction and the power of the human mind, Moors. Education. Education. Allah means the Moorish woman. I will repeat eloquently with the silver tongue. If any Negro, black, and color with a fez on telling you any different, I will repeat. Allah means the Moorish woman. If you don't believe me, man. Allah means the Moorish woman. Al-Quran means the chronological record of the Moorish nation, namely the science of 12 signs of the Zodiac, the universal law, and constitution, geometry, the angle of 90 degrees. Are you following me, Moors? Quran, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, nature. These are the signs and symbols, man. This is the Zodiacs. Man, we tripping, man. That's why I say I don't know what brothers be talking about. I don't know. They don't know what going through the Adept chamber is about. The Franciscan Union states, Right Society of 1863, North America, and aboard is guided. This is old wisdom and not the Constitution. The axe, the tribe of the spear, allied together became the ruler of the world and the 7 seas between 1828 and 1898. Watch this. We get an etymology and we look up words. When I say you must research everything. When I say if you don't understand what a word is, a Negro, black, and color will get you with words because you think they telling you something. Like for instance, you hear a preacher, it's over, it's fulfilled. Fulfilled means it's over. No, it don't. Research this homework in the book of Matthew. You get these Negro, black, and colors preachers, whoever, quoting things. Fulfilled does not mean over. Fulfilled in that context is a Greek word. P-L-E-E-R-O, meaning to magnify, bring back to your remembrance. So before you can quote something, you must know what words mean, and language, and etymon, and the root of words. When I hear Negro, black, and color going around saying they Christian, I say, well, do you know what the etymology of Christian is? That's Cretan, C-R-E-T-I-N. That means retarded, maimed in the medical field. You research it. That ain't what they call themselves. React. This is a nationality. And if anybody telling you the biblical scriptures ain't about tribe or nationality, they lying to you. And there's no truth in them. That's why they don't want to talk about the genealogies of so-called Jesus. It reveals all the Canaanites and the Moabites, which in the biblical scriptures, they try to tell you that a Canaanite or a Moabite can't inherit the kingdom of God. I come from scholarship, man. But in 1828, the Franciscans tribe were speaking in various dialects of Latin, the language of the Moorish nation. We talk about Moorish Latin. That's Bantu. That's Hebrew. That's a collection of all languages because we were on the seas traveling. The Angela, or the English language, is the manifestation of all spoken Latin dialects, which make it the simplified universal language for the one race, the human race. That's why if you study a prophet coming to the voice of the people, both Qurans. For why? For you wouldn't be confused. If anybody telling you any different, they lying to you and ain't no truth in them. The truth of the 12 signs of the Zodiac reveals humanity 400 years or more. The history of the 12 signs of the Zodiac has revealed to me, to you, The great chain of Moors. From the Moabites to the Moors, and from the Moors to the Franciscans, or the French, or the Anglo-Saxon, Moabite or Moorish women come from. I'm telling you, man, it's deeper than this. It's a deeper science. The Moabite or the Moorish woman is referred to as the widow. So don't take the wrong conception, because all female and women are equally mothers and sisters, and all male sons come into being by way of the mother. Therefore, Moors, all sons are brothers and sons of a widow. Are you following me? If you're not following me, then there's no science. That's religious dogma. That's why when I say ignorance of scientific proof, truth of the works of nature involving the inner nature and actions of reaction of human beings, as shown in the 12 signs of the Zodiac, family, result in a confused state of mind and mental and economic and social suffering, referred to as what? Hell, Moors. The real heavies, Salam, knowledge of the Zodiac gives one a perfect state of mind and reason upon that, namely, the forces of nature which dwell within ourselves and about us, all of which is referred to as heaven and happiness and peace of mind with ourself. And I'm getting ready to close, Moors. We have nothing to fear except fear itself. So seek scientific knowledge of the 12 signs of the Zodiac. Then you will be set free of artificial culture and fear. Salam means peace, the Moorish language of Latin Moors. I'm telling you, Moors, I hope we understand this wisdom, and I hope we're studying, we're researching, understanding who we are on this earth plane, understanding how this earth operates, understanding what's above has to match below. I love you all, Moors. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. Sunday school is going to be Sunday at 7:30, Moors. We're still working on our syllabus. Like I said, it's just me and my students, so we're putting it together. It's taking a minute, but we're putting everything together. It's going to be done in a couple more weeks. I thought it was going to be done last week, but we got so caught up. I've been traveling and doing teaching with a lot of students. I've been doing a lot of work back in my home state of Flint, Michigan, where I have property and where I'm building with my family there. So I'm doing things in both states, steady traveling. But Moors, everything is going to be up and running here in Arizona real soon. And I want students, man. This is the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. I'm a Moor. That's where it stops. I challenge you to understand who you are. I teach all law. I'm not under no oath. I teach science. I'm a Moor, but I'm also a 99th primitive right of Memphis and Mizraim. And I'm an adept. And I'm part of the Philosophical Society. There's no oath. I teach all science, from health to spirituality to international law, from linguistics to agriculture. I mean, a lot of my students are notaries of the Republic when we're doing real legal documents. Who's your notary? Who's your legal representation? When I see Negro, Black, and colors getting in trouble, even a lot of Moors, I see who their legal representation is. When I give you precedent in cases, they don't want to listen because they get caught up in fraudulent concealment. Someone giving them a line over an old, outdated case, and they're not showing you the outcome. I'm telling you, Moors, I love you all. We got to get into studying from a truthful perspective. When I talk about only way to study law, international law, is to study law. A trustee on the law of identification. Man, I got so much story about the revised Smith and Herbs. The law of freedom and bondage. And the law of freedom and bondage in the United States of America. There's so much that we can teach on. I have all the law books. I have the history of what the Council of Courts is. Moore's talk about some treaties. And I say, man, treaties was broke. You got to understand international law. And once you understand that, you operate worldly, I'm telling you. But Moors, I promise you, man, if you want any of my books, please download our temple number. If you want any of the books that I gathered and compiled, Moors I've put together, let's see if I can find it before I leave. And I'm out. My emperor's like, let's go. Okay. I put together 10 books. But we're going to gather and compile most of them and put them into 2 books. And we're just going to have our science book, we're going to have our vegan cookbook, and our workout book, and we're going to have our coloring book for our youth. But these are the books that myself and my emperors and my students gathered and compiled for study. Moors, please donate, man. It's a donation, come with a tax-exempt receipt. I also print books that you probably can't get from other authors. That's expensive. So the first book, and one of my students like, yeah, we're going to have a book. We're going to have a big book log where you can research all our books, the books that I've gathered and compiled, and all the books that I have in my library for ordering. But the first book we gathered and compiled is the Moorish America's Light of Ali and the Moorish Adept Study Guide, the House of Ali, Mysticism, the Egyptian Adept, Prophet, and Angel. And these are just the covers of the books because I don't want to keep pulling everything out. The Essence of Chemical Element of Moorish Archival. Sufism and the Triple Roll of the Adapt Chamber, featuring the Kemet and Adapt Manual and the use of our carpenter tools. Scholars who debunk Eurocentric propaganda, where we gathered and compiled the book with all our scholars that wrote about this Eurocentric propaganda. No matter if my book's selling off the wall right now, when the flesh is gone, it will be here. A lot of my books are students bought on the college campuses. A lot of my elementary students write about this. A lot of stuff I put together is peer-reviewed scholarly research. 14 famous Asiatic scientists in history. You are what you eat. Eat good, look good, feel good. This is our vegan cookbook. Our delectable vegan treats. When we make vegan snacks, my empress make the treats. Healthy living and eating. Mind, body, and spirit must agree as one. Your body is your temple. This is the book that I really take pride in because I put a lot of my workout regimens in. I put a lot of my concoctions in about the minerals I use, like the fruits and vegetables, and all the herbs I use, like the spices, like the turmeric and the gingers and all that I use, and different things I use to heal and recover. Where's my Divine Creed of Moorish Islam book? I don't even know where. Let me see. Do I got my last book? Oh, I still got other books. Here they go. The interpretation of the divine. Whoa. The interpretation of the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. If you are Moor and you don't know the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam, you should have. All Moors should have this, so it won't be no confusion. All Moors should have the Divine Creed of Moorish Islam because it is a divine creed. And our I Am Royalty coloring book by our babies. Like right now, all our stuff's in the process of gathering and compiling them. But Moors, please, order our books, man. Everything is going to go towards fallen humanity. Nothing is for me. I'm successful. I have businesses going on. But we're putting things together so we can do things on a global scale. I promise you, man, there's nothing fake about what we're doing. We have manuscripts with Moors. We talk about how the temple was set up and how it wasn't. This is all you need to have. It tells you everything. You don't gotta get caught up in no speculations or no argument. It tells you exactly how the temple was set up, everything, how he did it with an affidavit, everything. So you don't gotta get into no argument with no Negro, black, or color with no fez on, saying what it is and what it ain't. I love you all, Moors. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, health, and wealth. The truth has